of us, 1 in 3 women will have an abortion by the age of 45. It is a common and necessary aspect of our basic reproductive health care. These conservative politicians are also trying to block us from accessing birth control, where 99% of sexually active women in this country utilize birth control at some time. What does it mean when a woman can't access basic reproductive health care? She can't keep that lousy job she's got. She can't determine the number and spacing of her pregnancies. How is she going to manage her career? How is she going to manage keeping the job she has? How is she going to decide what kind of family she has and then support her family in dignity and in economic security? We must get money out of politics, because that is the only way we will begin to elect more progressive politicians who will put our policies first. We'll put our needs and our interests first. So women are with you. I know I've way overstepped my time, and I apologize. But I do get excited about this. Thank you.
That's how abortion should be. Safe, available, and rare.
Money ain't speech, corporations aren't people.
Money ain't speech, corporations aren't people.
I said money ain't speech, corporations aren't people.
Money ain't speech, corporations aren't people.
Democracy, spring the people's voice will be heard.
Democracy, string of voices, will be heard.
Democracy.
Faith leaders are also going to risk arrest. And I'll be thinking about you today. Kitchen space in the jail cells for us. I often get asked the question, why? Why, as a person of faith, do I participate in civil disobedience? Why do I do things like go on hunger fasts? I get asked the question of, why should faith leaders even care about this issue? Shouldn't we really just be interested in saving souls? And isn't there a separation of church and faith? And I tell people that I do this because for me this is prayer. This is how I pray. This is how I live my faith. I do it because this is what Jesus did. This is what St. Francis of Assisi did. When Jesus turned the tables over in the temple, when Jesus healed on the Sabbath, which he did every single time he healed was on the Sabbath, he was committing acts of civil disobedience.
That was yesterday.
St. Francis got naked in a public square to protest the inequality of income among the people. I'm not suggesting that y'all go over and get naked, by the way, but we all thought it at one time, but we thought, nah, not a good idea. So we need to rewrite our story. We need to rewrite our story to a story of interbeing, of connectedness, not a story of separation. We need to rewrite our story as spiritual people so that we have a story that tells us that people are not considered illegal because they want to come for a better life. That we want a story that tells us that children are not sold into slavery so we can have cheap cell phones and cheap coffee and cheap chocolate. We want a story where we can, it's not controlled, that our government is not controlled by a few wealthy people, and that our laws are made to protect them at the expense of the rest of us, where people's voting rights are not taken away, and racism is rare and not prevalent.
Right on.
Money has always played a key role in electoral politics, but what kind of role it plays should be subject to regulations that reflect ethical and democratic values. Most important, it is necessary to have policy safeguards which ensure that more than just the wealthiest interest groups have a voice in the public sphere. A broad spectrum of faith traditions share religious teachings that recognize each person as a gift of the Creator and emphasizes the human dignity of each and every person. Every person should not only have the right to vote, but he or she should have the right to speak and to be heard. Every person, our shared teachings tell us, should be able to contribute his or her ideas to shaping of our democratic government and the policies it adopts. We support the democratic process, which was founded on the concept that the best solution of problems come from the marketplace of ideas where everyone can contribute. But these contributions can be nearly meaningless when they're drowned out by a few wealthy people. For Christians, this issue should be very simple. It could not be any clearer than it says in Matthew 6 that you cannot worship both God and money. As people, and by the way, we should be telling all of the members of Congress who claim to be Christian, just tell them that. Every single one of them, tell them that. That's people, and by the way, about 95% of the people in Congress claim to be Christian. And I really use that word claim to. So, as people of faith, we experience firsthand the results that unlimited money has on, whether it be on immigration reform, gun safety, voting rights, climate justice, and the ability to have an open and honest discussion on any of these issues. As spiritual people, we're called to create a beloved community. We're called to care for the poor and marginalized. Yet it becomes impossible to create a loving community, a common home, when the partisan divide in America is fueled by attack ads funded by private interest groups who are unaccountable and unidentifiable. A beloved community cannot be created when corporate funding supports systematic building of private prison systems or works to deny certain classes of people the right to vote. A beloved community is not one where wealthy voices are the only ones that are heard. Catholic social teachings tell us that nature of the public common good should be focused on the needs of those most vulnerable in society. As money begins to weigh more than our own voices and views, people in the pews see the country losing its hold on democracy. Recent polls have shown that 80% of registered voters across all party affiliations said they believe that our political system is corrupt and needs reform. Pope Francis, in discussing the role of money, said, "We've created new idols of the golden calf of old and found a new heartless image in the cult of money and a dictatorship of an economy which is faithless and lacking any true humane goals." Pope Francis also said, "We have a culture of disposal where human beings themselves are considered as consumer goods which can be used and thrown away." And so, as the St. John Chrysostom, a 4th century Catholic theologian, said, "Not to share one's goods with the poor is to rob them and to deprive them of life. It is not our goods that we possess, but theirs."
Social service.
So faith communities are in a unique position to address money in politics due to their commitment to make sure that the voices of those in need are not ignored. Our system of government becomes increasingly beholden to those who can afford to spend the most in elections. The less the voices of the poor and their allies can be heard. All it takes, though, is one good person, to restore hope. One. It's all of us. Money in politics is not just a political issue, it's a moral issue. In his encyclical, Laudato Si, Pope Francis called for a bold cultural revolution. Kind of an interesting thing for a pope to be calling for a revolution. He's been traveling around the world calling for that. So let's be part of that revolution. Let's begin that revolution today. Thank you. Pate Bene.
Give it going for Patrick, everybody! Awesome. Awesome. I have another amazing speaker to introduce y'all to. Please join me in welcoming Umi Selah. Umi is the co-founder of the Dream Defenders, an organization committed to shifting the culture through transformational organizing, dedicated to building a community of love and reconciliation, and training and organizing young people in nonviolent civil disobedience, transformative organizing, and direct action. Umi, everyone!
Repeat after me, what a time. To be alive.
To be alive.
What a time.
What a time.
To be alive.
To be alive.
What a time.
What a time.
To be alive.
To be alive.
We are certainly in unprecedented times. For even as the right wing seeks to annex and usurp the democratic process of our country, we find from every crack and crevice of this country, from every sewer, from every gutter, from every margin, that the left is rising. That people are standing up in every corner of this country and saying, no more to the corporate class. No more to the billionaire class. And even as our voices are rising from every nook and cranny of this soon-to-be great country, there are people that say that we have no right to be here. There are people that say we are wasting our time. There are people that say that we are asking for far too much, too fast. And we say to those people, we are only asking, we are only demanding everything that was promised to us. We say to them that we take our charge not just from our rights as human beings, but from the document that they hold so dear and great. That we hold these rights to be self-evident. That all men and women and siblings are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, amongst these life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And in order to secure these, governments are instituted amongst people to secure their rights, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That when any of these governments become destructive of these ends, it is the duty of the people to what? To abolish it. To abolish it. Or to abort it. Repeat after me. We are here to either abolish it or abort it. Why? Because the Constitution told us to. And so we stand here to say no more. We are rising up. And all we need is power. Transformation. And miracles. We want it. We need it. We got to have it. Right now. Right now. Right now. Power. Transformation. And miracles. We want it. We want it. We need it. We need it. We got to have it. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Revolution before revenue. Community before corporation. And all power to the people.